When the class is working independently, I have the opportunity to do some focused teaching with individuals or small groups. Even so, while I'm doing that, I keep a watchful eye on the class. I try to use management techniques to keep the focus on learning as much as possible. By maintaining a calm and composed manner, even if I don't always feel that way, I can influence the climate for learning in the classroom in a positive way.
Mike? All right, Sally, we'll have a word later, okay? Anita will help you for now. Miss Mike?
Sorry, miss, but my pen's not working.
What should you be doing? Why did you draw that shape?
Well, I wanted to draw a hexagon, so I started with one rectangle and I carried on to see if I could fit any more into it.
Jason, if you made the triangles bigger, what would happen to the angles?
They stay the same. They won't increase or decrease.
Billy, show me your work, please.
That looks like something up on undertake.
Although Miss is quite strict, she helps you when you get stuck. Sometimes in the lesson, when I think I'm about to get into trouble, she'll say something nice about my work. That feels good.
Once the class was working productively in pairs,
All right, Sally,
Kath took a few minutes to check that Sally, who had arrived late and upset to the lesson, was okay. Rather than embarrassing her or taking time from the lesson, Kath quietly offered some time to meet her privately. While Kath was talking to Sally, she was still aware of what was going on in the rest of the class. She spotted Mike turning around and distracting the pupils behind him. She caught his eye and indicated with a gesture that he should focus on his work. Because Kath had planned to work closely with particular pupils in this part of the lesson, she asked Anita to support Sally. Both Anita and Sally seemed happy with this arrangement. Kath moved first to Mike to see what had distracted him, and discovered that his pen was not working. She supplied him with another, so that he could continue with the task. Mike started work immediately, but Kath looked over her shoulder to check that he was back on task. While Kath was teaching pupils at the back of the class, she noticed Peter distracting his friends as he was picking up his pencil from the floor. Once again, a gesture and a disapproving look was all it took to settle him. Throughout the lesson, Kath used a number of unobtrusive signals to keep pupils on task, and to free herself to teach individuals or pairs. For example, she directed Tom and Matthew to think about their behaviour.
What should you be doing?
And when Amy was daydreaming, Kath refocused her by touching her gently on the arm. Kath acknowledged and encouraged pupils who were working well at the task. For example, as she walked past Mike, Kath took a step back and smiled at him, so that he knew she'd noticed. He smiled in return.
Billy?
Kath included Billy in this part of the lesson by asking him to show her what he had done. Although Billy did not look at Kath directly, he did as she asked. Kath kept good track of the timing of the lesson by checking her watch.
It pleases me when I see a class enjoying mathematics, because we've had a real struggle to raise the status of the subject, especially amongst those pupils who find it difficult. I was pleased to see how Kath included Billy in the lesson, checking his progress to inform future planning with Mrs. Latimer. Kath has a relaxed and confident manner and obviously enjoys the company of these pupils. She's able to share a little joke with them without it becoming an issue. Most pupils enjoy her lessons and feel that they are making good progress. They seem to want to please her and meet her high expectations. The attendance in her lessons is very good, around 97%, I think. An important element of Kath's success is the respect she shows to both colleagues and pupils. Groups have been discussing rights and responsibilities as part of the tutor programme, and respect is featured strongly in these discussions. I know Kath has explored these issues with her group, and she does present an excellent role model.
Kath created a very business-like atmosphere in this classroom.
Mike?
She followed her lesson plan and was confident that she could fit the learning into the allocated time.
All right, Sally,
Pupils
we'll have a
knew
word
what they
later,
had to do,
okay?
how to do
Anita
it,
will help
and
you
how
there.
much time they had. Kath's main focus was on successful learning, and she did not allow any other issue to dominate or distract pupils from this.
Yes, Mike?
Sorry, miss, but my pen's not working.
Pupils who forget to bring equipment to class can disrupt and delay lessons. But when Mike's pen stopped working, it did not disrupt his learning or that of others. Kath has a small stock of equipment that she keeps in the classroom, which she lends to pupils who need it. In this way, she maintains the focus on learning and avoids potential sources of conflict. The school encourages pupils to bring equipment to lessons. If they forget equipment regularly, Kath follows it up. It might be that they are experiencing some learning problems. Some pupils use a lack of equipment as an excuse not to engage in the learning, particularly if they find the work difficult. To make sure this was not Mike's problem, Kath looked discreetly over her shoulder after she gave him the pen, to check that he had started the task. Later, she let Mike know that she was pleased with his progress by giving him an affirming nod and a smile. Kath is very aware of the importance of maintaining positive relationships with her pupils. Kath certainly maximised the potential for teaching and learning in this part of the lesson. She used effective, well-timed questioning to check for understanding and responded to individual needs. She consistently reinforced effective behaviour for learning and acknowledged success. Some pupils can find praise embarrassing. Kath was careful how she used it. Her low-key smiles and nods ensured that pupils were comfortable in receiving praise.
Show me your work, please.
Effective teachers like Kath lead and direct learning, but pupils will also take the lead from each other. Kath understands how important it is to engage powerful members of the class, such as Anita and Jason, who can have a positive or negative influence on the group. In this part of the lesson, both Anita and Jason were well motivated to learn. Kath used Anita's positive influence on Sally to support her in the task. She used extension questions to motivate and engage Jason, who is one of the most able members of the class. He was pleased when he could answer her questions, and Kath let him know that he'd done well.
Jason, if you made the triangles bigger, what would happen to the angles?
They stay the same. They won't increase or decrease.
In any class, you'll find pupils who are keen learners. They are self-motivated, well-organised, and don't always need to rely on the teacher to direct their learning. At the other end of the spectrum, there can be pupils who find school hard, maybe because learning is hard work for them, or perhaps because academic achievement is not their top priority. Teachers can find these pupils difficult to engage. Of course, one or two pupils in every class might need extra support in relation to their behavioural, emotional, or social needs. The majority of pupils in the class, however, can be influenced both by their peers and their teacher. Teachers need to make sure that their teaching styles and the relationship they have with pupils consistently move this group of pupils towards becoming keen and independent learners.